In this conversation, I want us to talk about empathic connection in relationships. Now, empathic connection is a very wonderful and interesting phenomenon. And the way to define this is to start by understanding what you know by seeing things from other people's perspective. Now, in a relationship, there are times when your partner is behaving in ways that you don't approve of. Maybe that's when you start seeing them as nagging, you're seeing them as quarrelsome, and maybe always complaining. But now empathic connection comes into that very situation. What does it? How does it come in? It's you to take a step, and first step outside the whole conversation or the whole notion. Like, for example, you have two people here. You have Humble Fad and his girlfriend or fiancé. So if Humble Fad is the one seeing his girlfriend as being maybe nagging, becoming more complaining and quarrelsome, stuff like that, then Humble Fad should step outside the two and then just watch the two to see what is still alive into his girlfriend. And what you realize when you do this is that you now start asking yourself questions like, what is the main reason, genuine reason as to why my partner would behave this way? What need of theirs that is not met that is making them behave in the way? For example, maybe there has been a dispute between you and your partner of miscommunication. He or she normally and always complains about your communication. It's like you leave the burden to them to communicate. It's them that always call from Monday to Sunday. It's them that will text you, and even if you phone a missed call, you won't even labor. They send you texts. Sometimes you respond, sometimes you don't respond. Now, and I'm talking about people that are in a relationship where love exists, because these things might have been happening when actually on one side love is not there. But if at all you are sure that love is still existing on both sides, then if you see your partner complaining that you're not responding, stop there before you draw your conclusions and then start labeling them as quarrelsome or nagging. First, think of why would they be thinking or saying whatever they do say. And now, when you give yourself answers or give yourself questions of why would she or he be complaining, number one, if it's true that indeed you're not communicating, then maybe they have a need of always wanting to feel that connection between you and them, and they don't receive it because of you're not communicating to them. And maybe for them believe that if at all you were communicating, maybe that connection would be felt and the gap closed. And maybe their need of knowing what you're doing, how you are, and your whereabouts all the time is not met through your refusal or your failure to communicate to them promptly as they would wish. Maybe they would want to tell you or always chat with you, you know things that lovers do. Now, if at all you see you see those things or options that could be accruing to your partners behaving the way they behave, then it gives you a different sense of understanding your partner. You'd cease to see a partner that is quarrelsome, but rather instead see a partner that is craving for affection and attention, a partner that wants to be to build a relationship other than someone who is quarrelsome. Now, when you see it that way and then reach to that conclusion, then I believe that's the time to call your partner on a round table and then talk about issues. Let her blame you if at all she uses that language, and then in response, just ask her, just pretend that you know what's making her do it. Just tell her, because it's an investigative move. You might suggest that for example, let me use an example of Shanita. You say, Shanita, I know you're feeling maybe bad, or you're feeling sad or frustrated because my communication has not been good, and maybe you have a need of always wanting to know how I'm doing and what I'm doing. But I want to know, am I right about that? And maybe they go on and tell you whatever they tell you. Then from there, you can ask for suggestions of what you think they can do, and then you give you also give your story also of why you don't communicate. Do you do it intentionally? Is it because you not a fan of communication, maybe using WhatsApp or using calls, whatever. You know yourself better, so give her or him all of those possible solutions, rather the genuine reasons as to why that's happening, and then work around that and see how you can surely make things work. I'm looking forward to seeing you in our next conversation. I stay humble. Peace, love, and kindness be upon you. Thank you for your kind attention.